If you've been following this show as I release it, you know I screwed up the episode order a while back. The funny part about that is, unless you looked at the episode number, you couldn't tell. With the rare exception, continuity isn't a thing in this show. Each episode is a self contained unit that stands on its own. There are advantages and disadvantages to that. One of the advantages is you don't have to remember stuff that you did before. One of the disadvantages is you can't remember stuff that you did before, so there's always the danger of repeating a plot. That didn't happen with this series, but I suspect a lack of continuity may have contributed to its downfall. More on that later. Of course he won't go see about him, he's just a human. But the way the man is lying there twitching, that gorilla knows what's wrong with him.
Why don't you stay and make your home here?
Well, that's a good question. I guess the reason is that Verdon's got an itch in his feet, and I got rocks in my head, which is why I go along. You see, we're taking a survey of the far side of every hill on the horizon.
I'd like to give you a better answer, but I can't think of one.
So Pete's answer is as good as any. His description of their mission reminds me of something my grandfather once said. He died before I was born, so I never knew him, but my dad told me plenty about him. He said, the most interesting state in the Union to drive through is Kansas. You drive up to the top of one hill and see the next one, drive up to the top of that hill and see the next one. The main difference is our boys are walking instead of driving. Alan has another reason for leaving, and here she comes.
Daughter.
Amy.
Will you say goodbye?
No. You're a stranger from another world. I don't know how to talk to men from another world.
He told her she's in love with him, and in a flashback we see that he was trying to explain that he already has a family back home and he wants to go back to them. All he had to say was, they're in a village so far from here, I'm not even sure where it is. I'm trying to find my way there. Instead, he told her the truth. Alan, 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 what are we going to do with you?
What's wrong?
It's nothing. I'm just a little tired. A little tired.
Meanwhile, that gorilla reports to Urko that a human in the village has sleeping sickness. We gather that's bad.
What's the matter, Galen? You hear something?
Not yet.
Expecting company?
Trouble.
Well, what is this, crystal ball time? Let us in on it. What's the matter, Galen? Something's bothering you.
You are. I didn't like what you did.
When?
When I joined up with you two, I knew that I would have to face the same dangers that you face.
He'll take forever to get around to it, but he's furious that Alan revealed their secret to Amy.
First, you made her angry. Then, you told her who we are. Not only did you trust her with your life, but you trusted her with ours.
Everything Galen says is true. Without asking, he handed their futures over to Sandra Locke. She hadn't moved into Clint Eastwood's orbit yet, and at this point she was best known for being in Willard, a low-budget horror movie about rampaging rats. In 1967, she married her best friend Gordon Anderson and was married to him for the rest of her life. The marriage was a front. Gordon was gay, and she was cool being his beard. Both pursued other relationships, and she was married to him when she moved in with Clint Eastwood. Clint was controlling and not the nicest partner. He didn't want her hanging out with anybody else if he wasn't there. Throw in the fact that he fathered 2 children with another woman while they were together, and she decided to get out. Her civil suit against him introduced us to the word palimony.
You're right, Galen. I shouldn't have told her. She was hurt, and I wanted to try to make her understand why I couldn't stay. That's not an excuse. I'd just like you to know why. I am truly sorry.
That's good, but the question will be how much fallout there is from his mistake, if any.
I didn't think that you meant any harm. It just did seem like such a needless risk to take.
It was. Chalk it up to, the fact I'm only a human.
Oh, yes. Sometimes, I forget that humans can't help the weaknesses they have.
It's a good thing Pete has some self-control. I don't think Galen would be happy if he laughed right now. In Central City, the High Council is meeting to discuss the outbreak in Tryon.
Our historians have brought this to my attention. In the early part of the Ornan period, a fever which struck only the human population killed several hundred in a section of the rural zone. The entire sector became barren for years afterwards.
I am aware of the possible loss of goods and labor. That is why I have ordered Tryon quarantined.
Quarantined? Burn it!
Burn it, shoot it, hang it, drown it, knee it in the nuts. Urko needs to go find a rock to pound on.
Before we consider any such measures, Urko, our Chief Medical Officer, Zoran, has something to say.
Zoran is played by David Shiner, whom we've seen many times without the ape suit. He's been a good character actor, but his favorite jobs were on Broadway. He retired in 1988.
I have done considerable research in the diseases of the lower species, and I have developed certain theories of treatment.
Theories? Excuses to waste time and resources on intellectual games.
I intend to test my theories in trial.
The entire labor force of a whole section is being threatened, and he wants to test theories.
Yes, Urko, that's how we learn things. The apes decry human society, but they've got a caste system here that's tighter than anything India ever came up with. You get the impression that we don't actually educate the gorillas beyond what they need to know to hurt others. Why can't they have the same education that Zaius did? I suspect they're so warlike because they're trained to be. According to ape society, it's all they're good for. You were born a head-bonking club, you'll live as a head-bonking club, and you'll die as a head-bonking club. If you were to press Zaius, he would end up telling you the gorillas don't have the mental capacity to fill the job of an educated orangutan. Urko is a second-class ape, and he doesn't even know it. But we know what would happen to our heroes if they went to the council and pointed that out.
Vote! Vote! Those in favor of allowing Zoran to proceed to Tryon.
Aye! No!
So be it.
He's gonna go beat up that rock some more. He takes a squad and heads for Tryon to supervise the quarantine. They set up camp just outside the village.
Well, good morning, friend.
Hey, I'm sorry, sir.
Wait a minute, you're from Tryon, aren't you?
Hey, you're the coal carrier.
Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
I was lucky. I was outside the village. Guards let no one in, no one out. A man was shot trying to run.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's quarantine, a plague. I was told many are dead, and more will die, many more.
Do you know the names of any of the dead?
Nothing. I was spare. Even the name could carry the fever.
Hey, now, wait a minute, wait!
Who knows?
They know what they have to do.
What if we were the ones who started it?
Oh, Pete, what if we walked in there carrying some kind of a virus? Harmless to us, but deadly to them.
They've been in equal contact with dozens of other humans and nothing like this happened. He's not just reaching, he's straining to the utmost.
Did I say that we didn't at least have to try? All right, we'll try. I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, look, you just wait 1 minute. Now, you just wait. Are you planning to include me in on this trip back to Tryon?
Well, yes, I figured... I hoped we would stay together.
You mean you assumed that once you two had decided on something, Galen would just tag along like a good little ape?
But we have just been through all that. But just because that girl is in love with you, should I risk my life by going back there?
No. There's no reason at all for that.
Huh. And should you risk your life by going back there? But you stubbornly insist upon doing it, don't you? Oh, I am getting to be no better than a human. Come on, let's go.
Never let it be said that Galen says something but doesn't back it up with action. He'll prove he's no better than a human.
What are you doing back there? Haven't you heard there's fever?
We are somewhat familiar with the problem, and we would like to go in and help.
Council has sent the chief physician. Now turn around and go back to where you came from.
Look, all we want is to try.
I have orders to kill anyone that crosses the quarantine line. Now move!
Fine, be that way. He can only cover the road anyway, and there's lots of back ways into town.
Stagnant water. And mosquitoes.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, stagnant water is where mosquitoes breed. A lot of people have trouble understanding that the mosquito is the deadliest creature on Earth, especially to humans. The village of Tryon is finding out why.
Help me, please.
No question about it.
Malaria.
That's why they carry and transmit malaria, dengue fever, and a host of other deadly diseases. A single mosquito can infect dozens of people, which makes them the deadliest creature to humans in the world. They meet Amy, and she reports that her father died.
All right, listen to me. All of you. Come in here and listen. Hurry, people, please. There's no time to lose. Closer. All right. Now, the first thing, we've got to bury the dead immediately. If we don't, we're going to be fighting fever and dysentery and worse. We've got to set fires. We've got to make a lot of smoke to keep away the mosquitoes. A treatment center's got to be set up right away. Work parties have to be organized. Everyone who is still not...
Silence!
A human giving orders. Don't you know who he is?
I am Zoran, Chief Medical Officer of the Supreme Council. This is my assistant, Inta.
I have complete authority here now.
That's nice. We respect your authority. Now, can we get back to saving the village?
We're happy to see you. Perhaps we can work together.
A pit will be dug at once. It will be filled with water, and I will add certain medications. Everyone will disrobe and immerse themselves. Each one of you will be bled. The amount determined by your size and your age, and there will be no physical contact between men and women until this disease is under control.
Potions and bloodletting. Ay, 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 ay.
Yay, yay!
You seem to have a talent for organizing. You'll supervise the digging of the pit. Inta!
You're whistling Dixie, Doc.
I'm whistling. I shall speak more clearly. You still hear whistling? Is there something wrong with your ears?
No, what I'm saying...
What he is suggesting, sir, is that this particular disease, with which they are both very familiar, does demand special treatment.
He's saying if this pit thing is your big experiment, it's going to fail.
Listen to them, sir. They are more intelligent than most.
So, you're familiar with this disease?
It's malaria.
How clever. He even has a name for it.
Why is that a bad thing? Alan explains that malaria just means bad air.
Like the type you find around those stagnant pools that we passed on our way in here. You see, sir, the mosquitoes that live around that stagnant water carry the disease, and it's communicated by their sting.
That is enough. I don't know whether to have you shot for stupidity or hanged for insolence. Germs flying through the air on the backs of insects. Disease of the lower species are transmitted from bodily contact.
This one isn't.
Zoran is more concerned about the fact that a human spoke to him like an equal than he is about the disease, but Galen is smoothing things out and trying to explain that they do know something about human medicine.
Arrest these two.
Arrest them? I'll shoot them. They crossed the quarantine line against my orders.
As you please.
I protest.
Has he had bodily contact with the lower species? He has malaria.
Okay, your I'm in charge-ness. Explain that.
I can't. I can't explain. I can't.
Nisa. Nisa's dead. You dare tell that to Urko?
Yeah, we know you can't explain it, but Burke and Verdon can. Even better, they know the cure for malaria. The problem is, they can see Urko's camp from the house they're in. That means if they go outside, he can see them too. Right now, he doesn't know they're there. The council is with him, and they're in an uproar now that an ape has died.
Upon my arrival in Tryon, I discovered that the fever was not of the Ornan variety as related in the textbooks. I made a discovery of a rare disease called malaria, obviously fatal to apes and to humans, and obviously not transmitted through bodily contact.
And how, Zoran?
I have reason to believe that the disease grows in stagnant pools of water and is introduced into the bloodstream by the bite of mosquitoes.
He's not sure what to do next. He has to conduct more research, which is to say, go ask Pete and Alan when nobody's looking.
I will not back down to a mosquito. Urko, this disease is fatal to our people. We should use this situation to develop a cure.
Yes. Perhaps there's a positive side to this. We can experiment with the humans, even if we lost an entire village. If an ape cure was developed, it would be worth it.
Kind of a roundabout way to save people, but we'll take it.
You'll report to us.
Yes, sir.
Urko doesn't like it. He's gonna go pound on that rock some more.
What are they doing?
Protective masks and gloves. We have to send a work crew down to drain off the stagnant water.
I'm in a most difficult position with the council. I've related to them your mosquito theory. Of course, in order to save you from punishment, should we fail, I told them that the theory was my own.
He was also covering his own caboose because telling them he got the information from a human would raise too many questions that he doesn't want to know the answers to. On to the cure. They explain what quinine is and what kind of tree it's made from. All they have to do is find one. The problem is, their knowledge of trees was out of date 2,000 years ago. They're not sure what one would look like now. Covered from head to toe, Galen is directing a team that's draining the stagnant pools. Urko is checking on Zoran.
Running away, Doctor? No, the cure for the disease is in the bark of a certain tree. We believe that...
We believe. What do you mean, we?
I was under the impression you had the sole authority here.
I have the sole authority here. I described the tree to them, and they believe it can be found in the forest.
Why do you cover your faces? What are you afraid of?
Mosquitoes.
I'm a little surprised Urko didn't recognize Pete's voice, but he has other things on his mind, like making fun of these guys who are afraid of a little bug.
There are no mosquitoes here.
Missed. Albino mosquitoes, all white, very hard to see.
And those sounds you hear are barking spiders. Also very hard to see, but quite often you can tell they've been there.
That could be. It's bitter enough.
I'd feel a lot better if we were sure.
So do I.
Yeah, that's the first thing I learned when I was a kid. All good medicine tastes terrible.
But will it cure the fever?
Well, it won't if we just stand around here. Let's give it a try. All right, move over here. Take as much bark as you can, but quick.
Back at the village, they put everyone who can walk to work grinding the bark into powder. Unfortunately, there's one person who can't walk anymore.
Amy. Oh, Amy.
I'm sorry. I wanted to help.
I know, honey. It's all right. Don't worry. Amy, look, we found what we were looking for. But you gotta hang on. You gotta fight it, okay?
They've gotten the quinine mixed up and have given it to everyone who's sick, including Amy. Now we wait.
Another world. Don't go back. I love you. I love you. Tell me the truth. I love you. Don't go back.
He's trying to quiz her more, but there's an urgent call from up the hill. Urko needs him right now.
Urko, Kava is sick. We'll all catch the shaking sickness.
Now we'll see, Doctor. Now we'll see if the Council still believes in you. This village will burn, and everyone in it. Everyone!
He hasn't had a chance to try it on Apes yet, but we've noted before that Urko is basically a club with a mouth. Or today, a torch with a mouth.
Urko, I promise you that I will take care of you. You make empty promises and my troops are dying. Oh, believe me, I have the means to cure them. This is a new medicine, a new medication.
It's made from the bark of a tree which I looked for and finally found in time.
You will not experiment with my troops.
He'd rather guarantee that they die than take a chance they might live so Zoran gets the glory. He returns to the council and demands they burn the place now. Zoran says, this stuff will work. Give it a little more time. Urko doesn't like it.
Don't care how, I want it now.
Yes, Urko, we know. It's been a very long day and Alan is taking a walk to clear his head. Amy is talking in her delirium again and Zoran is getting it all.
Is he an astronaut? Amy, listen to me. Is he an astronaut?
Why are you sneaking up on me?
Oh, I was just coming to look at the girl. Tell me something. Is she beginning to talk strangely again?
Strangely?
Yes. It's the fever. Oh, it does make her say the most impossible things.
Zoran has heard enough to know what Galen is doing, but the strangers are doing a good thing, so for now he'll just go with it. Alan can't stand to see an animal suffer, so he sneaks over and starts pouring the quinine down the guy.
Who is it?
For all he knows, he just shot his partner. Sometimes I think the only difference between these gorillas and the ones in our time is the ability to talk. Other than that, they haven't advanced an inch.
What were those shots?
Where have you been? Just a small mercy mission.
You treated Kava.
Yeah.
Oh, terrific. Now he's making house calls.
You risked your life for an ape?
His pain is no different than theirs. But I'm afraid I left the evidence behind when I ran.
Can anyone identify you?
I don't think so, Pete. It was too dark.
Zoran knows Urko is going to be furious about this. Urko checks Kava and finds the medicine bottle.
Did you drink this? Did you drink this? Yes. If Kava dies, if they've killed him with this medicine, I'll kill you myself.
By definition, medicine does just the opposite, but Urko is terrified of anything he can't control. Council or no council, he assembles his guerrillas to burn the town at first light.
Stand aside. It is several hours yet till noon, Urko. Stand aside or die with the others in the village. The council voted. The council began.
That is treason, Urko. I command you to withdraw.
You command. You have words. I have weapons.
Would you kill me, Urko?
Before I allow you to let him kill my troops, yes.
If this isn't enough for the council to finally strip him of his rank and send him into exile, I don't know what is.
Urko doesn't care for you. He thinks of himself first. He would not let me help Kava. He would let Kava die to discredit me.
It is Zoran who thinks only of himself. He could not help Kava. He could help no one.
It appears you were misinformed, Urko.
Those are all the people who were sick. Urko refuses to believe it. Yeah, they suddenly discovered latex and made masks of the sick people just to screw with you, dude.
The lie. The trick.
No! Last night, somebody came to me from the village. I was dying.
Silence! I order you.
He was all upset because Kava this and Kava that. Now he's going to shoot Kava for getting well. This is your military leader, Zaius. Please think about that.
Urko, you are wrong. They gave me something to drink, bitter medicine. The medicine made me better. It saved my life, Urko.
Urko, I tell you again, take your troops and withdraw while you still have them to command.
And while we're on the subject, why does he still have them to command? He must have some dirt on Zaius because I see no reason why he still has his job. He just engaged in open revolt and pointed a weapon at Zaius. His punishment? A stern talking to. Remember, the orangutans are the brilliant statesmen who know how to handle most any situation. I would suggest they put Galen in charge, but I like him, so I wouldn't do that to him. The danger is past, and they know how to make more quinine in case someone else needs it. Zoran wants to talk to our friends privately. I guess he wants to thank them.
I suppose you'll be wanting to leave soon.
Right, today.
Well, I'm afraid that's not possible.
Why?
I can't let you go.
Oh, but, everything's under control.
No, you don't understand. I mean, I must tell Zeus and the others about you. You see, I know who you are.
He's going to reward them by sending them to imprisonment, torture, probably experimentation, and of course Galen will be terminated on the spot. Your gratitude is overwhelming.
Understand, I deeply appreciate what you've done here, what I've learned from you.
How could you possibly turn us in?
Because you are fugitives. Zeus wants you, and I am loyal to Zeus.
Zeus isn't the concern. He tells Zeus, and word gets back to Urko. When he gets done, there's nothing left to present to Zeus.
Then what we did here means nothing to you.
Oh, no, it does. It does. But
it just doesn't mean enough.
But we're the lower species.
Yes.
If we're lower, how come we're smarter?
No, I can't explain that.
How will you explain that your victory here is really theirs?
Or does he think they're going to keep quiet about the real brains of this outfit? If he turns them in, all bets are off. See, they know about a lot more things than malaria. When there's an outbreak of typhoid or smallpox, let's see him explain how to deal with it. If one of the horses gets sick, what's his treatment? Then ask Alan what his treatment is and see which is more effective. They can bring him down. And suddenly he realizes it.
Or do you intend to keep all the credit for yourself?
No, I had no other choice. I have my position to uphold.
You, turn us in. You think we won't tell Zeus?
He'd never believe you.
He'd believe me.
Remember, even though he chose to go on the run with Pete and Alan, Zeus knows Galen. He knows he's not a liar. Zoran tells Galen he can go. Galen says, nope, you don't break up the set.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Just try me.
But, don't you see they are,
I know. Lower species.
In the right circumstances, there's nothing wrong with giving your loyalty to a so-called lower species. Am I right? We feed them, we shelter them, and serve them. Remind me, which is the lower species?
Well, now, Zoran, you've got a decision to make. Your loyalty or your ego.
Ego. I'm not familiar with that word.
Just how are you going to feel, Doctor, when Zeus finds out that you've been counseled by humans? Every move you made, every word you spoke.
I suggest that you stay out of sight for now, and then leave after dark.
The mark of a truly intelligent ape is the ability to change one's mind when presented with evidence contrary to one's opinion. On the other hand, if you're always right, you never have to change your mind. Just ask her.
It's just as bad the second time. Saying goodbye, I mean.
You'll be all right, Amy.
When I was sick, I had this terrible dream that I told the apes about you, and they were going to hurt you.
What a terrible dream. That's all it was, just a dream.
I don't think Zoran or anybody else will suggest otherwise. She doesn't need a load of guilt interfering with her life. That's what the apes are for. She also seems to understand now that what she was feeling was infatuation, not love, and she can't build a life on that. I know from my teens that you can have some great makeout sessions based on it, though.
Someday I'll have a family. And I'll tell my children about this man from another world who's the kind of man that they should grow up to be like.
I think he's a little speechless. And down the road they go again, which brings me back to the subject of continuity. Where are they going? What's their goal, and what course are they following to get there? This, to my mind, is the biggest fault of the series. No direction, no destination. In the early episodes, the goal was finding a computer of some kind to read that disk that Alan insisted on keeping. That just vanished without explanation. Ever since, they've been moving from one subject to another sort of aimlessly. They found at least 2 places where they could settle down for a good long time without the apes harassing them. Every time they insist they have to move on. Where and why? Let's take a moment and imagine that they got word of a human settlement somewhere far away that still has technology. If they can reach it, maybe they can read the disk and rebuild their ship. Remember when that was the idea? As they're making their way in the general direction they've been told, they encounter all the stuff they've encountered. They don't even have to indicate how far they are from the goal. Just mention it once an episode and you've got continuity. As we know, that's not what killed the show. Putting it in the Bermuda Triangle of time slots did that. But I do wonder how many people would have tuned in at least every other week or so to see if they were getting any closer to Plot Resolution City. Zoran is more concerned about the fact that a human spoke to him like an equal than he is about the disease. Yes.